So getting results for your clients is not easy, and it's especially hard if you're focusing on the wrong things. So in this video, I want to break down one of my most successful campaigns ever for a construction company here in Latvia, where we spent around, let's see, back to ad sets, we spent around 1,300 euros or around $1,500, and we made $340,000 in contracts signed, which comes down to 261x return on ad spend, which is to be expected because this company, their cheapest product is 50,000 euros. And to give you a bit of a spoiler of what's coming next, Facebook ads was just one small sliver of what we focused on. It's just one small part of the equation. All we're doing on Facebook is trying to get the cheapest cost per lead as we can, and from there we have process in place to turn those leads into actual in-person meetings where the lead comes down to the client's office, they sit down and they talk business. Okay, so as you can see, we're paying around $3 per lead. Total, we had 524 leads, 100,000 accounts reached on Facebook with a frequency of around 5. So now let's take a look at the ads themselves, and I'm going to show you one stark difference that we did that our competitors and other businesses are not doing. So if we open up the most successful ad set and the most successful ad, you'll see that it's not in English because this campaign was run in Europe, but the same principles would apply if you run campaigns in the US. And one thing we are doing here is we're plastering the price up front here on the ad itself. And many business owners think that if they put the price up front in the ads themselves, they won't get any leads because they're afraid of the pricing. But that couldn't be farther from the truth, because if you put the price up front, you'll get much more qualified leads that know how much they should expect to pay if they go through with it. So you're getting leads that are not tire kickers, and their objection is not the price, which is great for the business owner. As opposed to if you have an ad with no price and everyone comes in expecting to pay peanuts for the product or service, you're going to spend so much time on weeding out leads with no money. So that ad was very simple, just the product itself, which is a tiny home, and the price up front. And here you can see it got quite good engagement, 167 likes, 22 comments, people tagging their significant others and whatnot. But yeah, real magic happens after the lead submits the form. Oh, and one crucial thing we did with the lead forms themselves, as you know, on Facebook, it's very easy to fill out the form with all the pre-filled fields. So what we did instead to get better lead quality is we disabled all the pre-filled fields and made leads type in their phone and email manually. What happens then is they put in their actual phone numbers as opposed to the phone numbers that are binded to the Facebook account, because chances are that when they first created their Facebook account, they used a different phone number than the one they have right now. So this ensured that we have accurate contact information for the leads that come in, and by having leads actually submit their phone number and email by hand in the system, we're making the forms much more intentional. They actually have to stop and think to put in their phone numbers, as opposed to how typically lead forms are run. When you open up the lead form, click a button, click submit, it takes you just 1 or 2 seconds. It's easy to do on mistake. So if you take these steps and put in fields that your leads have to manually type something in, maybe it's a long form question, maybe it's a phone number, anything it might be, you're inducing something that's called pattern interrupt, and the lead actually has to stop and think before they submit the form. So doing this, you won't have leads that say that they don't remember how they filled out the form, right? So let's go to this whiteboard right here, and I'm going to explain the lead journey from the ad itself to the meeting. So as you saw, we were running lead forms on Facebook. So from the ad itself, if the prospect is interested, we send them to the lead form where we collected basic information like, do you have land? Have you spoken to bank about financing? And all these qualifying questions that my client wants to know before they actually sit down and speak with this prospect. So when the lead comes in, they fill out that information and immediately SMS goes out to their phone. And we use Go High Level for this step, but it really doesn't matter what tools you use to get this done. This lead journey won't really change on the tools you use or the industry you're in. You're going to be pretty much doing the same thing if you want good results. So SMS goes out, and here I'm going to show you the tool we use to actually automate all our conversations to a point. But what we're trying to do in this step is using follow-ups and automatic SMS messages. All we want is to get replies and get the leads speaking. So we use SMS and automations to get that done. And when they start speaking and responding to these messages that we're sending out, what we're doing is we're qualifying the lead for the clients on client's behalf, because as you know, clients are not the most happy to jump on the phone, call the leads, send SMS, and spend their whole day going back and forth with leads, as opposed to actually doing their job and building their business, right? So we do the qualifying part on behalf of the client using AI. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then once the lead is determined as qualified, there's two things that might happen. Our appointment setter might actually call the leads if they're high value lead, answer more questions they might have, and then push them to a meeting. And meetings here are not phone calls, they're not Google Meets. These are actual meetings in the client's office on site. So the lead has to have some real intention behind like their need and their want for this product to actually come in, drive like 20-30 minutes to the office for an in-person meeting. So we're pushing leads from the qualifying process and SMS conversation to an actual in-person meeting. I'm going to show you right now how we do that. We use appointment-wise, but again, you don't have to use any of these tools. You can use appointment setter, you can do this manually. Using appointment-wise is just cheaper and faster for us. It's not the best solution out there, but it does the job. So let me show you how it works. So this is the initial message that goes out to the lead as soon as they submit their contact information on the Facebook lead form. So Rob here from AEG, can you confirm that this is Matt and that I have the correct number? This is what I call a conversation starter. Your first question, you just want to get your lead to answer yes, preferably. So we ask if this is Matt and if this is the correct number. Most leads would reply yes, but if they don't, a follow-up goes out and just nudges them to answer this initial question. So let's test it out. I'm going to move myself up here. So let's say, yes, this is Matt. Hi Matt, nice to meet you. Do I have it right that you have land to build your new home on? So this is one of the qualifying questions that we asked in the Facebook form, and all we're doing is repeating it back to the lead to get them in habit of replying and building this report. So do I have it right that you have land to build? So we're closing on a plot. So this is not like ideal answer, but it's in the right direction, just so you can see how the AI handles this response. Great to hear that you're closing on a plot. Are you interested in a tiny home or more of a regular build? So here we're trying to understand what the lead actually wants. And again, this is all automated, and this is what our client wants to know before they sit down and actually speak with the lead. So let's say regular build around 1,200 square feet, which is a kind of a small house, but thanks for sharing, Matt. What's your timeline like? When would you ideally want to move in? Here we're kind of future pacing and trying to get the lead to imagine them actually living in the house in the end product. So here we're asking, when would you like to move in, as opposed to when do you want to start building, right? So they probably they have this goal in their family of when they want to move in the new house or whatnot. So we're trying to get them to imagine this scenario right here. So let's say next year, probably 7. Let's try to do a typo here. Thanks for the info, man. I think it makes sense for you to come in our office to show what we built for others and discuss options. Would later this week work for you? So this is where we try to push Matt to the meeting. And I'm going to be honest, most of the leads, when they answer to all these questions, they are not ready to come in for a meeting yet. They have more questions about like the specifics or of my clients, like building practices, what they do, what they've done before. And most leads, before they want to come in for a meeting, they want to speak with an actual person on phone. So what we do here is we figured that this is the case, that they want to speak with someone. So after they don't answer to this question right here, we actually call them and set appointment, answer questions, handle objections, and get them to a meeting that way. Like I would say 40% would say, okay, yes, we would like to come in. But even if they say yes, we still call these leads up and try to build a rapport so they actually show up to the meeting when they say they would. Because if you let AI handle the whole thing, your show up rates are not going to be that good, because there's no real connection built yet with the lead. But if you have this conversation going on here, you're asking all these questions, and then you actually have someone from your team call up the leads and qualify them further, listen to what they're saying, listen to their wants. They feel like that connection is being built, and then when you propose that in-person meeting, they're much more likely to show up. So this is the process that we did for 500 plus leads, having AI do the heavy lifting, then calling leads that seem serious, then setting meetings with those leads on my client's calendar for an in-person meeting. And really, this is all you need to do to get your clients good results, because really what it boils down to is how many conversations you can have with your client's potential leads. This will determine how many deals you actually get your client, because if your lead cost is going to be super expensive, you won't have that many replies. For example, if you use landing page forms, which do have their place, but if you use website landing page forms, your lead cost is going to be 10x of what I showed you at least. So you're going to have way less conversations with potential clients of your client, and your client will have less deals from your efforts on the ads. So I think this currently is one of the best ways to start the most conversations possible. Having Facebook lead forms, which are super cheap, then having automated AI SMS system that starts the conversations, and then you actually qualify the leads and call them and set the meetings yourself. I hope this was useful. All the links to the software I use are in the description of this video. Honestly, would appreciate if you subscribe, but yeah, do as you want.